sometimes coming to those decisions has nothing to do with his skill set or what he's willing to do. It might just be based on what the opponent does. So those are decisions that we have to make. It's really not anything extraordinary about it. It's just part of ball. Whether or not we choose to call it in a specific moment is up for debate, but to suggest that there's a resistance to it in concept, I'm not willing to say that. I don't know where these roads are going to lead. Some conversations need to be had. Some contracts are up, some contracts aren't. I'm not ready to discuss that at this point.
All right, so two things there, Aditi Kinkhabwala. The first part of that Mike Tomlin soundbite was Tomlin saying, or at least pushing back against the idea that Ben isn't allowed to sneak it on 4th and 1. Let's handle that first. Tomlin seemed to deny what Roethlisberger was saying.
Andrew, can you see me struggling to keep a straight face?
It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm trying really, really hard here. So we have asked Ben Roethlisberger about the quarterback sneak for a long time now. He is 18 of 19 when rushing the ball on 4th down. So 18 out of 19 times he is converted for a 1st down on 4th down. But he has not done this in 40 games. This was brought up in October in a perfect situation for that. He said that it wasn't in the playbook, that it was a coach's decision. Todd Haley at the time seemed to indicate that that surprised him, and perhaps it should be in the playbook. And of course, as you saw, the Steelers flamed out twice on 4th and a foot in this conference championship game. And Mike Tomlin didn't quite give us a straight answer on that one today, as he didn't give us a straight answer on quite a few things. The good news here is that Ben Roethlisberger is going to be back next year, perhaps for several years, and perhaps they can clarify this in the offseason, Andrew.
All right, so he's going to be back, and Tomlin did say today that he's under contract and are moving forward as if Ben is going to be back. He was asked, however, about his assistant coaches. He kind of punted, said, well, we're just starting here the offseason, we're just evaluating. He was asked specifically, though, about the relationship between Haley and Roethlisberger, and he said, I haven't really sat down to evaluate these relationships yet. What does that mean?
But he did say that he is going to assess those relationships. He is going to evaluate those relationships. But now Ben Roethlisberger earlier in asked about Todd Haley said, hey, a little bit of conflict is completely normal. He said he's had conflict with Bruce Arians. He had conflict with Ken Whisenhunt. He told us that he met with Todd Haley privately yesterday in his office, that they laughed, that they talked about the progression of the offense this season. He also said that he feels the Steelers are right on the cusp and that this is not the time for major change. But as I tell you all of that, Andrew, I'm going to throw a phrase at you. Plausible deniability.
Are you suggesting,
you know what that means,
No,
right?
no. But are you suggesting that Ben's saying, of course I love everybody, and don't ask me?
And so don't be surprised if there's not change. But before I send it back to you, can I just address one report that is out there suggesting that perhaps it is time for Mike Tomlin to leave? Mike Tomlin is not going to be fired. Mike Tomlin is not going to leave. But it might be a good time for the Steelers ownership to talk to Mike Tomlin about a little bit of discipline with this outfit. And it recalls a time when Giants ownership talked to Tom Coughlin. He tweaked his style just a little bit, and then he won 2 Super Bowls.
Mike Tomlin today talked about social media and criticism and holding and keeping his team out of the storm. I mean, that's another whole issue there. Aditi